instant. Pull up at the scene, then I'm gone. Pull up at the scene, then I'm gone. Yeah. I shall the devil with the fire. Make me play a retire. I shall the devil with the fire. Make me play a retire. They better pray I retire. Now get a mundu gonzara. Urara kugazara. Baby girl admire. They better pray I retire. Nakere muntu gonzara. Kurara kugazara. You should have found a makara.
It's Jody on the beat. I love this guy.
And it's a beautiful, beautiful Tuesday. Hey! Tuesday! Oh!
Tuesday.
Sorry. It's a beautiful Thursday. It is the 3rd of February. The year of the Lord 2022.
Yes, so yesterday we had 02022022.
It says Varne.
That's waar. It's called, there's a specific word for it. It's called I'll get it later.
Nee.
It's not an algorithm. Algorithm's
It's
something
not
else.
an algorithm.
It's an idea something.
Kalfie, morning, Mitch. Kalfie, you had your birthday yesterday.
Yes.
Please, We want to know how your day went.
It was a fantastic day.
Yeah, ne?
Really, from the beginning till the evening. First of all, thank you to everyone out there, all our listeners and viewers. Thank you for your best wishes and your birthday wishes. It's much appreciated, and I had a fantastic day.
And last night?
A wonderful evening.
Why are you asking about last night?
No, listen. Gehikelde kondome werk nie.
Wat dan de keert, man?
Ja.
No, we have to ask this question now. You are 53 and you're
Yes.
talking about condoms.
Yes, condomize is when you look at the family and you say, look, we don't have so much money, we must just eat rice of millipap.
Yeah.
We've got to condomize.
Oh, we have to condomize.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
get
sorry,
you, I
that's
get you.
economize. Sorry.
Economize. No, we are happy that you had a blessed day yesterday. It seems like there's a string of Trasconians that is sharing birthdays this week. It was
Yes.
you and Des yesterday. It's Elmarie today.
Yes.
Elmarie, happy birthday.
Happy
today.
birthday, Elmarie.
And blessings and more blessings. Good morning, Gladness. More, Mutatio. More. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We got a few things that we need to run through this morning. A lot of things that has happened in the media in the last 24 hours. We would like to share that with you
Yes.
this morning. So, but first and foremost, let's start off with the news.
Informante News. Informante News. Firm but fair.
This is Informante Live, and these are our top stories. The leader of the Landless People's Movement, LPM, Bernardus Swartboy, paid a courtesy visit to State House where he briefed President Hage Geingob on issues that the LPM deemed needs urgent attention. In the meeting, Swartboy stated that politics should be set aside for better service delivery. This is the first time in 6 years that Swartboy visited State House after his last meeting in 2016, which culminated in the politician resigning from his position as Deputy Minister of Lands and Resettlement. The leader of the Landless People's Movement, Bernardus Swartboy, paid a courtesy visit to State House where he briefed President Hage Geingob on issues that he deems very urgent. In the meeting, Swartboy stated that politics should be set aside. He added that a key issue that arose in the meeting included the Neckartal Dam, which has recently been filled to the brim by good rains but has no agricultural projects as yet. The majority of the 5,007 candidates who sat for their first ever Advanced Subsidiary Level ASL Grade 12 exam obtained grades A to C. The results were released yesterday. Minister of Education, Arts and Culture, Esther Ngipondoka, said the past academic year had some challenges, especially the leaked question papers in some NSSCO subjects for the revised curriculum and legacy did not affect their ASL examination. And finally, in international news, the BBC reports that Russia has condemned a US decision to send extra troops to Europe to support its NATO allies amid continuing fears of a Russian invasion in the Ukraine. Moscow said it was a destructive step which heightened tensions and reduced the scope for a political solution. The Pentagon said 2,000 US troops would be sent from North Carolina to Poland and Germany, and a further 1,000 already in Germany would go to Romania. Russia has some 100,000 troops near Ukraine. It denies planning to invade. Your Trustco share price today, the 3rd of February, is at $1.30. Taking a brief look at the financial indicators, the Namibia dollar is trading against the US dollar at 15 Namibia dollars and 30 cents, against the euro at 17 Namibia dollars and 20 cents, and against the British pound at 20 Namibia dollars and 70 cents. This is Informante Live, and these were our top stories. You can find more on our website, which is informante.web.na.
Informante News. Informante News. Informante News. Firm but fair.
It's Bernardus.
Wow. I am so happy that these two had the opportunity to put politics aside and engage each other on matters more important than self-ego.
Don't you think the elderly people are saying, Sinye, here he comes crawling back?
Ja, nee wat.
Huh?
No.
I know
Or did you think he just went to fetch his cell phone?
Nee, ja, seker maar om die selfoon.
They're very happy. It's like, woo, they want to get tweet. I go kabaha. It's like, my sons are back together.
Yeah.
No, but maybe he still had airtime on that phone.
Despite his views on the
It's a coffee. Laat Bernardus jou nie hoor.
ja, laat hy kom, laat ons 'n bietjie hoor. Despite his views on the conduct of President Hage Geingob and the ruling party, LPM leader Bernardo Swartboy says he has no choice but to work with the party for the betterment of societies.
That's it.
Yeah, Swartboy said that this after his closed-door meeting with President Hage Geingob at State House yesterday in a move to mend their once cordial relationship, which turned sour in 2016. The meeting was the first between the two politicians since Swartboy was fired by Geingob in 2017 as a deputy minister of land reform. Swartboy went on to establish the LPM that year. After yesterday's meeting, he said there's his view that Geingob and Swappo were not capable of leading the country has not changed. He said his view that the ruling party has corrupted the country has not changed. However, the purpose of development, he has no choice but to work with Swappo to deliver services to the Namibian people who have voted for the LPM. And I think Bernardus and his team presented the president with a LPM blueprint or proposal as to how they see development throughout Namibia. And to a greater extent, some developments, I think, especially a green scheme project, that they would like to see in the south of the country.
And that it has to benefit the people.
But
Yeah.
is it, I totally understand what Bernardus is saying in terms of the Neckartal Dam.
Yeah.
But look, I mean, isn't it a bit early to make that statement? Because remember, the Neckartal Dam was only completed about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yes, it did have good rains, and yes, it did fill up in the first season.
Yeah.
But these plantations that we envisage seeing around the Neckartal Dam, like we would, let's say, have a green scheme as in Marintal.
Yeah.
Neville, that doesn't happen overnight.
It doesn't happen.
And I think it's a relevant question of Bernardo Swatboy to ask why there are no agricultural project next to the Neckartal Dam as yet.
Yeah.
But I think it's just a bit too early to ask this question.
I think he's talking from the perspective of this project will take, if the project starts or the project to be approved will already take like 2 years to 3 years, and the project being approved, and then the project being implemented will take another 2 to 3 years.
Yes.
And it's just like, hey, kan ons the biggie probeer?
Yeah.
Kan ons the probeer just to probably have pass on the fast track the process. Yeah.
Is the Swapo building in Katatura, is it finished?
It's almost finished.
Okay, so why hasn't a helicopter landed on it yet? That would be the same way as asking this.
So I'm just saying, like even the Swapo building took long to build. You know, they first had to buy that whole plot.
But the building process, I mean, for building of that magnitude, is since 2019 when they started building, it's slightly over 2 years. Ek dink hulle het regtig baie vinnig gebou.
Nee, hulle het baie vinnig gebou, maar ek meen like it been approved, like okay, we are going to build this and this is how it's going to be. It probably took a bit longer. Yeah. So I'm just saying probably it's just putting out the idea that okay, can we should have those irrigation programs and agricultural programs because of the dam, and it was built and it should be around the dam.
Yes.
That's the green scheme program. So I think he's talking from that perspective. Can we start working towards this?
Yeah. Kyk, ek sê my point of view, I don't think it's too premature. I think I've had many people also saying in public that wow, the Neckartal Dam has overflown. Het julle swart mense nie al 'n gedagte in julle kop gehad what to do with the Neckartal Dam nie? Why is there nothing going on? So I hear what you say, Kaufi, but then again there's also another narrative that we should have acted while this project
Was
or
being
the
built.
was being built to actually put these projects in place to ensure that the water supply should be used effectively for that purpose.
So if we, totally with you, completely with you. So what, in your opinion, those green schemes that would then start at Neckartal,
Yeah.
what should we grow there?
It's difficult because I'm not an agricultural person,
think
and I would
dates
like
and-
I would like Mutumba to please, because Mutumba, you are the agricultural expert here. If you're on the stream, please come and assist us. You just mentioned dates,
Grapes, dates,
dates,
and
because it is the south.
it's the south,
Yeah.
and they
Yeah.
flourish in that.
Yeah, so I would, the people, the agricultural people who are out there who have a better understanding than myself of this, let's see what can be done
Because
there.
I think in everybody's mind, if we as humans talk about it, let's plant something that'll benefit us.
Yeah,
Okay, and I've got total respect for that. It eventually will come back to us anyway.
yeah,
So if you, let's say, let's plant dates, like you said, or
Yeah.
millies for that matter, or whatever it is, it's something that we as Namibians can consume. But then again, should it not also, us as Namibians, getting our heads wrapped around this, it should be something that we can export.
yeah,
In other words, something that we can produce to the cost of the Namibian dollars, or, it costs Namibian dollars to make this, whatever it is, and then we sell it on the international market for euros.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you, man.
I
agree with you.
And
It
it's,
will earn 20 times as much.
yeah, I agree, Kaufi. I agree, but in the same vein, I think COVID has exposed how reliant we as Namibians have been to South Africa
Yes.
for the most simple things. And fruit and vegetables are an industry that we can be self-sufficient
Yes.
of in Namibia.
Yeah.
And the amount or the number of fruit and vegetable trucks that come from South Africa to come and supply Namibians, because there are certain agreements that they have with retailers here in Namibia, probably the ShopRites and the Pick and Pays, etc., etc. And there are not enough agricultural Namibians who can produce this for ourselves.
Do you know what we are seeing in the white communities predominantly happening now over the last, make it year and a half? And we are seeing black ladies next to the streets popping up, selling fruits and vegetables.
Yes, yes.
We see that opposite the Safari Hotel.
Yeah.
We see that in the middle of Olympia.
Yeah.
We see it here next to the
Klein
road
Eros.
in Kleinwindhoek. There's
Kleinwindhoek.
actually quite a big market
Yeah.
there on the
Eros.
left-hand side.
Eros.
And
Is it
Eros.
Eros or Klein?
yeah, and we should be able to do that. We should give Namibians access to fruit and vegetables without having to travel that far.
Yeah.
You should be able to walk down the road and buy yourself a watermelon.
Kyk soos byvoorbeeld, and that is what I do, because I think now that I do understand entrepreneurship a little bit better than what I did probably about 20 years ago, I make it a point out of sheer principle
Yes.
that I buy all my fruit and vegetables from the street.
Yes.
And that is my way of giving back and supporting local
Correct.
SMEs and
Yeah.
local
Correct.
enterprises. Yeah.
And I just think it's been imprinted in us that fruits and vegetables that like on the street are like we just look at them like it's not fresh enough.
Yeah.
It's just been imprinted in
It's
us.
imprinted.
It's really just a thing that we want to be seen buying at
A
fruit and veg.
supermarket.
At a
At the
supermarket.
supermarket.
Yes.
But we don't know what's in it. We don't know if this organic or not. But we just dismiss it because of what's been imprinted in us of the supermarket. That's reliable.
Well, you park next to the supermarket and then you walk into an air-conditioned environment.
Yes.
And you pay an exorbitant amount for fruits and veg. I mean, look at cucumbers. You know, sometimes in the season, when cucumbers are in season, you can buy a cucumber, let's say for $10. Okay. When they're out of season, they try to sell you a cucumber for 45 to $50 a bloody cucumber. You know where you can shove that cucumber at 40 or $50. Nee man.
Estomich, kom in asseblief.
Ja, asseblief Estomich.
Estomich, kom in asseblief.
The expert.
Do they have vegetables in Norway?
Do they have cucumbers in Norway?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Like I saw a lemon being sold at 30 at Tom Thumb.
$30.
$30.
A suurlemoen.
A suurlemoen, Neville. 30 rand.
Jonathan Kingdom Minister says, even those fruits on the streets, guys, are imported. It doesn't make sense. Plant gardens around those dams lying dormant. It's a shame to have fruits imported whilst we have a dam flooding a town without doing nothing. The only plan in place was to flood the beautiful town of Marintal. It's not too early. How can you accumulate so much water and don't have plans in place? How you going to use that water? I just read now a string of comments by Jonathan Kingdom Minister. Why did they not fight? I thought there will be a big fight in the State House. No, of course not. Of course, Estomich immediately responded. Morning, gentlemen. When is the men's conference meeting? I'm asking for ladies since Valentine's Day is approaching. Cucumbers are healthy. You packs of wet lettuces.
Have we just been called wet lettuces?
Yeah, we are being called wet
out of
lettuces.
Norway.
Yeah, out of.
Do they have lettuces?
Yes, they should have.
Lettuces sit and think about this.
Lettuces and think about it. Yeah.
Lettuces. Galfie, you have to always make a pun out of anything.
Is jy al ooit 'n slypak genoem?
'n slypak?
Ja, dis wat sy sê.
Dis gesê met tamara sly.
Wet lettuces.
Yeah.
What's
You're
the
not slypak.
What's the most funniest pet name girlfriend you had or what gave you?
Nee.
Like,
Ja, ons praat
my tamara sly.
Tamara sly.
Ja, my eie tamara sly is.
So dis tamara sly.
Ek is so genoem
eendag sly.
Ja, eie tamara sly.
Yeah, so but to come back to this meeting from the political side, it's high time. It's really high time that political parties engage each other for the right reasons, and that is for the betterment of
the country.
Namibians, of the people living in this country. Yes, it's rather unfortunate that we sit with a situation that whoever I remember when I spoke to many a times to some of my friends who are in the SWAPO party, especially when SWAPO got hammered in some towns throughout the country, where you hear comments like, "No, Bason, I don't care, man. Huh? What are they going to do? They don't have the money. We will not sign anything. They will not be able to do anything in that municipality or that municipality or this municipality because they need our support. Because ons sit met die geld. We are handling the money in that town.
Okay.
And that is at the detriment of who?
The people.
The people.
But my whole thing is, why are political parties fighting each other? What's their reason? Why is it
Power.
that? And look at this. They all use the same strategies and same campaign methods and same campaign problems. We will build houses. It's been said since 1991. Education.
Hospitals.
Rape will be what? Hospitals will be.
Crime will
go down. The same methods. Everybody was saying that. Everybody's just coming in with that, and nothing has been done. So why are they fighting? Why can't they just say like, okay, let's just fix these problems as politicians and as parties of Namibia and just make the country great. Why can't we sit down and bring? Why do they want to keep? It's like a contest to them.
We want to see LPM fail, and then we will come as the savior of the people.
It's also interesting to see
it's always that,
how we discussed it a day or two back, how the other opposition parties now need to talk to each other in order to create an ally, unification to, become a stronger contender towards the ruling party. And here we have, the very next day, Bernardus Swartboy talking to the president of the ruling party.
Yes,
it's a savior complex.
Mutumba, Mutumba says, like he said yesterday, they were watching Netflix and drinking expensive Cuban coffee. I need to ask you, Mutumba, maybe you didn't see my earlier question to you. Kaufi earlier spoke about the Neckartal Dam and the projected projects that LPM is suggesting that needs to happen there. What is because you're an agricultural guy, what is your personal take as to agricultural development next to the Neckartal Dam now? Do you think it's too early? Do you think it's too premature? Do you think that we're positioning ourselves good, that we are proactive in creating a market out there that can supply fruit and vegetables for the rest of Namibia first and foremost? Vertel ons 'n bietjie. But while you are thinking about it, Kaufi, gee vir ons 'n bietjie die weer en die coronavirus updates.
Right, let's just look at the weather and just in brief, talking about Southern Africa. Thousands of homes were left without power in Mauritius yesterday as powerful cyclone winds battered the Indian Ocean island nation. Tropical cyclone Batsirai passed within about 130 kilometers of the holiday paradise, bringing heavy downpours and winds of around 120 kilometers per hour, with a peak of 151 kilometers per hour recorded in the capital, Port Louis. Life was brought to a standstill with public transport cancelled, shops and banks shut, and air and sea travel halted. At least 7,500 homes were without power. The telephone network was also disrupted. Cyclonic conditions will persist on the island until it left last night, and this particular tropical storm is now heading for Madagascar. Then, as far as the weather is concerned in Namibia, the interior partly cloudy and warm to hot, with a few to isolated thunder showers in the northeast, the east, and also in the south in places. Wind weather over the interior in places. The coast is partly cloudy and cool to warm, with a wind moderate to fresh southwesterly. Maximum temperatures for the day in Windhoek today, 29, in Walvis Bay 27, Swakopmund 25. Then Katima Mulilo at 28, and also Omuthia at 35, Ondangwa at 36. Ochivarongo at 33, at Riobot 30, and then going down to Marienthal today, 34, and it is not the hottest place today. Maybe they flooded the town, so it cooled down. Maybe.
So in short, Mauritius is a bit in a fix at the moment.
Yes. It is. It obviously was battered by this hurricane, or let's say cyclone. There's a difference, yes. Cyclone Batsirai. And I've looked at the weather predictions. There's a website called windy.com. You can go and check it out, and it actually shows the animation of the cyclone. So it's going to go over Madagascar today, then it's just going to slow down because it hit land. But then when it goes over Madagascar, and it's now basically between Africa and Madagascar, it's going to start picking up again. And the prediction is that it'll hit Durban by Tuesday, Wednesday next week.
Wow. Cool. So when it comes to rain in Namibia, we had a little bit of a break yesterday.
Yes.
Here in Windhoek.
At this particular point in time, after the rains. There's no further storm predictions or rain predictions. We'll check out the satellite images. Typically after the rain that we had, and once it has finished, because it's one rain system, it'll dry up again, and then we can expect probably more humid conditions as the sun is drawing the water out again. An interesting thought that I'd like to leave with you this morning, because I spoke to a weather expert yesterday, and maybe you guys can just think about this for a while. If you take a flat surface, let's say a flat surface of ground, okay, a meter square, right? In rain terms, 1 millimeter of rain on that surface, if 1 millimeter of rain hits that square surface all over, it is exactly 1 liter of water.
Ne?
Right. Obviously saying that the water won't
sink in.
Yeah, won't sink in if that water would just stay there.
Yeah.
So 1 millimeter of rain on a square meter surface basically means it's a liter of water.
Only if the water is stationary.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay.
It's so here it comes. If it rained like it did, let's say in Grootfontein, 100 millimeters of water, of rain. That means that there's 100 liters of water for every square meter
on the surface.
So now you've got to also think about it. If you take 100 liters of water, that would be about over here.
Yeah. It's good.
And here?
It's
So
good.
how much did it rain? That's the question. That 100 milliliters is on the surface. So how much did it rain? Like vir die water wat nou ingesak het?
Yeah, okay, there's no other good, there's no other good.
Yeah.
But it just gives you, and 100 liters of water weigh 100 kilograms.
Wow. Wow. Interesting.
Yeah.
Cyclone storms, floods, and hurricanes named after women. Not easy to be a lady. Thank you very much for reminding us. Esther Mitch, hulle vat mos alles weg. Natangwe Ipinge Shikongo says, guys, you should see the city of Windhoek Council meeting Tuesdays. Seriously, that new mayor is so unprofessional and emotional. 3 hours was wasted by her vengeance on the former mayor. Everything was turned down. That madam seriously need to improve. Natangwe, we will have the opportunity on Monday to have the mayor in studio. Obviously, we would like to engage on exactly some of the pertinent issues of the city of Windhoek. That needs to be addressed. So it would be very, very interesting to speak to.
But who wants to say something good about their competitor or the person that was before them? Do we say successor? But they are the successor.
Yeah.
So who wants to say they did well? Nobody. Like, I think even Job did the same thing. He was also battering the previous mayor. He was also saying City of Windhoek did nothing. So it's just part of the game. So that's not emotional. It's not about somebody being emotional. It's just that somehow you have to put a standard of this is how bad it was. So even if I do mediocre, you somehow have to just level the playing field.
Yeah, it's. I would love to see some of the footage that you talk about, Natangwe, because I heard it was a Mursa fight there in council yesterday, but it would be interesting to see what we're talking about. And I did hear that the mayor basically made sure that anything the former mayor proposed or whatever lands in the dustbin. So I don't know if it was for the good or for the bad. I don't know. I can't say. Maar ons kyk maar vorentoe. We will have the opportunity to speak to her on Monday and hear what she has to say.
I gotta read Moao Siboli's comment too. This morning she said, "Good morning, Malume and Mitch."
Hey.
Dankie.
Wow.
I had to just read that.
Moao is moeg vir sy koffie se
Wow
kak.
is on thin ice here.
He was talking about he spent the evening very well
Yes.
with family.
Nee, Moao is reg.
Take her off the cucumber.
Just 8, wow, just 8.
Ish. Wow.
After 30 years, there's no real solution for the seasonal floods. Elke jaar die mense word weggespoel, dan julle is verras en wil komme vir mense bid. Iewers moet ons om 'n tafel sit en brainstorm of hoe. This is what Stephanus, James and Ananias say. Jonathan Kingdom says power and dominion, it's all lies. Politics is one game with just different ideologies.
Sure.
SWAPO is a stronghold. Everyone wants to be a president in SWAPO, and people are promised that small chair. I will tell you something that, and it's somebody, a very influential politician that sometimes do watch our show,
Mm-hmm.
and I will not mention his name.
Why not?
No, I will protect his identity.
You have to protect your informer's identity.
We need spies.
Yeah. So he tells me yesterday, this specific, very influential politicians, because he watches our show, and he tells me, Neville, I got a Facebook request from a specific politician that ostracized me for a number of years,
Okay.
who did not want to have anything to do with me for a number of years. But it is SWAPO Congress this year.
Ah. Okay.
And he knows I have influence in certain circles of the party. Nou kom soek hulle aandag. Laat hulle cheap.
Het jy vir House of Cards gekyk?
So what we are saying here is exactly the phone call that I had from this politician about another politician about what might be happening going forward this year. So it's a game.
It's a game.
Yep.
It's a game. It's a game. Some more comments. Moasi Bolo says, I came to my senses. Top deck is nie 'n plan nie. I will stick to my pitch black options. Nee, wow. Nee. You
The black
must
shirt
not.
is back.
No, now you're becoming crazy.
Yeah.
Come
Yeah.
on, Moao.
Wow, come
Let's
on.
make the country white again.
Wow, wow.
No, not white. Buster.
It'll be Buster.
Yes.
Is she?
Yeah, a mix
Reobot.
between you, a mix between you. I always say, and I don't know if you guys agree with me. And that I've used this analogy many a times in cattle. If you pair a Brahman with a Simmentaler,
Yes.
that mix is the most beautiful animal that you can find.
A bastard.
A bastard.
Yeah.
You can take a Charolais and you mix it with a limousine. It's the most beautiful animal you can find. I've seen the most beautiful interracial babies I've seen in my life. And I always say, as jy kyk, kom ek vat 'n pik swart mens. En ek vat 'n spierwit mens. And you look at both of them. Nah, hulle lyk I'm talking for myself.
Yes.
Okay? But if you mix them
And you see the babies.
and you see the babies,
It's
it is the most beautiful that comes from there.
Never,
So,
that's why my father he advised me, Mitch, if you get a bastard girl, don't say we are in a relationship until you meet the rest of the family ladies. Van die mense is mooi.
as mooi mense.
Ooh, jy kom
mooi
daar
mense.
en jy sê, "Ooh, Here, hoekom het ek nie die suster?"
Ja.
Yeah.
Jy sê Koffie, julle wat nog nie in Rebord is nie. Because there's a 150-year history of Germans who had Nama women,
Yes.
or Portuguese who had Nama women, or Afrikaners who had Nama women. And those, offsprings that we have today who are colored and Buster are the most, sorry, mas maar nou net my view.
That is so.
It's beautiful
I know
people.
exactly, yeah.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful people. So you have your Eurocentric gelaatstreke, die groen oë, and then you have the Nama cheekbones.
Yes.
You have the Nama body with
Kid man.
blonde hair or daai mooi Portugese hare.
Are we
Beautiful people.
Are we already seeing black Chinese people in,
Oh, yeah.
in
Yeah,
the
we
north?
have.
There are many.
Karibas and Wang is there at Kietmans.
Oh, wie?
And they speak
Wuhan language.
For real. There is a Chinese couple, Chinese and Nama couple there, and the Chinese guy actually speaks Chinese in Kietmans, and they have a shop together there.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Karibas in Hame.
Karibas and Wang.
Karibas in Weng.
And that Chinese, that guy speaks Chinese. Tamara Nama. And he's always also with her at Vibe and stuff. He's a Nama. That guy is a Nama.
Nee.
Hy steek ook mes miskien.
Hy steek ook.
Ja.
Gevaarlijk.
You know the frequency Namas speak on. Namas frequency, like even if they're mad, the frequency just goes up. Like,
Goes up.
It doesn't like, and Chinese frequency is already also
It's also very high.
It's also very high, and they just click.
They click with each
Yeah,
other.
even with the Vambus, they already have babies. So I feel it's a good
No, there are a
thing.
lot of Vambunese babies up there in the north.
Bambonese.
Yeah,
Vambu-
Vambunese.
And we must do that a lot, so we have these smart kids. But we don't let them go visit in China. They must stay here. We must take their passports.
Smart kids who work very hard.
Very hard.
Yes.
Yeah.
Vambus that work very hard.
Yeah. No, Vambus work hard.
Listen, we need to have kids that dream of space and stuff. We don't have the capacity to dream of space right now. We need to dream of our taxi money tomorrow. But Chinese kids
we
can
do dream of space.
space.
Yeah.
Whether there's enough space in the Shabin for us to go dream.
Yeah. But guys, when it comes to what we're talking about also now,
Oh yeah.
I think the let's talk about racism and tribalism. Do you guys think that racism or my thinking that ek is beter as 'n Wambo of 'n Nama dink hy is beter as 'n Damara, or a German who thinks he's superior to an Afrikaner, or an Afrikaner thinking that a German is net 'n fucking blokkop. Would that ever go away?
Worldwide?
Yeah, let's say worldwide.
So let's. Do you know what happened to Whoopi Goldberg 2
I
days ago?
saw that 2 days
Because
ago.
she was on her show and she basically went ahead and said that the Holocaust, the Nazi Holocaust, where all those Jewish people were killed, had nothing to do with racism. It had something to do about humanity being against humanity.
Yeah,
And she was taken out
for 2 weeks.
for 2 weeks. So she was suspended from her show, and she then did later apologize.
Yeah.
She also said perhaps she should have said it in a different way, because
Yeah.
the Jewish community worldwide has always supported her, and maybe it came out wrong and she apologized, all that kind of stuff. So that in itself, by all means, in hindsight, apologized. She's now told to go home for 2 weeks and think about it and all that kind of stuff. What in the hell ignited that thought that became her words? What
Her
happened?
words were?
She basically said that the Jewish people that were killed in the Holocaust by the Germans, by the Nazis, that wasn't an act of racism, but that it was an act
Humanity.
of humanity against humanity.
Yeah, I'm just, as a human being, I'm just being cruel to
Yes.
you as another human being.
But she knew Hitler's straight words were kill those
Absolutely,
blue-eyed-
of course it was racism.
If you were saying like those humans, let's exterminate them.
Exactly, because Hitler wanted
But
an
if you-
Aryan nation.
Yeah.
With nice little people with blonde hair and blue eyes.
Yeah.
So, back to your question, I don't think it will go away worldwide.
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah.
in your and my lifetime.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll see
Yeah.
that.
It's rather difficult. It's
I mean, look at the zebras. They are racists themselves. They've got white stripes and black stripes next to each other. They don't mix those stripes.
I think
they don't mix.
You know, Neville, have you ever been in a situation where you want to say something that will be impactful and have somebody feel emotional and also unite people at the same time together? I think Whoopi Goldberg was caught in that. Like, she wanted to say something that's going to be impactful, but it backfired really badly to her.
Yeah, I think bad judgment from her side, because from the history that I have about the Third Reich is very, very, very clear as to how Hitler and the Third Reich saw Europe or the world in terms of extermination. But there was a lot of pushback and support for Whoopi on another angle, when somebody said, you know what, the Jews are the last people to come and talk about racism. They are the last one to come and talk about it, because what they've been doing in the West Bank in the last how many years, over 43, 44, 45 years, since 1967, is blatant racism towards Palestinians. And the level, the apartheid strategies, the apartheid laws, the apartheid whatever it is that the Jews are busy with practicing in the West Bank is tantamount to racism. I remember before Tate Toivo passed away a few years ago, I remember I was sitting with him this one day, and I told him, and I felt so shit, because I just came from Robben Island, and somebody showed me his jail cell. And I came back to him and said, Tate, I feel so bad. I was on Robben Island recently, and I saw the jail cell that you were sitting in for 10 years. And I'm so sorry that you had to go through that. Wie wat sê hy toppie vir my? Neville, what are you talking about? I lived in a little hotel. Compared to what I see, what Jews are doing to Palestinians. Neville, you need to go and see the jails in Israel. How Palestinians are being treated. When I saw that, I was like, no. My 10 years at Robben Island.
Luxury.
So I hear what you say, Kofi. I fully hear
You're
what
not
you say.
the worst. You're not suffering the worst. There are the people that have it worse than you. That's actually what he meant.
Neville, we need to go up to settle the situation regarding the Neckartal Dam.
Nee.
And we need to look at the comment of Mitchell Mutumba.
Okay. Ons sal 'n bietjie of sal jy hier is nou obviously other comments that came in.
But he's put it into brilliant perspective. Thank you so much.
It's a
Mutumba.
good
Yes.
it's a good move.
Very good.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Mutumba says it's a good move, but it needs to be done properly and not being hijacked by elites who want to exploit the agricultural sector. There we go. First and foremost, if the land along the dam is properly distributed to people who have the expertise in horticulture,
Yes.
it wouldn't make sense. You can't give a person who has zero agricultural understanding to run and manage such projects. Look at the green scheme in Kavango called Ndonga Linena, which currently becoming a white elephant with pump stations falling apart.
This is brilliant. And that is exactly it. Now that there's water, everybody wants to have the inside track to get a piece of land there. And, now that it becomes something of value, everybody is now starting their little plans.
Let me tell you guys, nobody is gonna get land there while Swartboy is there. What Bernardo is there, no politician will get land there, or nobody from Windhoek or from the north or what. I think he will fight it tooth and nail. Like seriously.
I hope he's doing it for the right reasons.
And he must also do it for the right reasons too.
Yeah, Americans are so self-absorbed. That is why Whoopi is of the opinion that racism is between black and white.
Yes.
Wow, Jurgen. I hear you.
He says
I wanted to.
if she only cared enough to read, she would have understood what the Holocaust was all about. Sy het gepraat van iets waarvan sy nie weet nie.
Yeah,
You know that white people are also racist towards other white people. They also have their like little sub-tribes or some kind of thing. There are white people that hate hillbillies. They're like, yo,
but is that not classism?
Yeah, it's classism, but for us, the tribes, they don't have tribes, though. Let us just give them that.
Are they in the German community, Kaufi? Are they good Germans, bad Germans? Are there Germans that certain Germans don't mix with because they are like this or
the
like
good
that?
Germans are the ones that live in Germany, and the bad Germans are the politicians of Germany.
Okay, let's talk about here in Namibia. The German community in Namibia.
The good Germans and bad Germans.
Yeah, do you guys differentiate between each other here?
It's a closely knit family, but it doesn't necessarily mean that all the Germans agree with one another or even want to associate with one another.
I see.
I know that there are a couple of Germans that are just like,
yeah, bye-bye.
Right. But the majority, I think, have got a very good basic relationship and understanding of what they are about. And I also think that the Germans in Namibia are not typically like most Namibians think, are like the Germans in Germany. Believe me.
No, we agree.
There is a big difference.
No, we agree.
Kom ek sê so in Afrikaans. Ek dink the German in Namibia is more in cultural terms. Is more your southwester. Is meer your
Zuidwester. Okay. Old school German.
Old school Southwest African German.
Okay.
Not Germany.
He believes
German.
Africa is.
And you can see these differences primarily if you go to the German consulate.
Okay.
The communication between Namibian Germans and the way the Germans speak to Namibian Germans at the consulate is quite often much to be desired for.
Is it? Well, okay. And your community, Mitch, is there a difference between you guys who are Namas? Is there classism amongst?
Yo. It's just that Namas think a certain type of way about Damaras. And Damaras think a certain, and that's why we have those words like "I Nama igin agwe." It means like a Nama is something to be slaughtered.
So
yeah, that's what a Damara would say. Nama igin agwe man. Sing. And Damaras Namas kind of thing like Damaras. They don't have anything to do with history or they don't have that ground of tradition like that Namas have. So they have problems with each other. But if you even if you look in the Damara society or the community, should I say, so if Damaras move to a certain place like Hoogland Park, Kleine Cooper or what, the way they're gonna treat the Damara that is from Kadutura, it's just different. So that's what you call classism. Yeah. So they start to think, and I think white people also have that type of classism between them. So yeah, Namas have something against Damaras, or they feel some type of way against Damaras, and Damaras also feel some type of way against them. But if they get together, it's a problem. It's a good thing. You'll never break them like that.
We don't need your comments, Raymond Passon. Ja. Los die Duitsers in Swapo uit. Ja. Esther Mitch, I will say this. You know what? I see your daily digs at the men here in the studio, since they are not a lady in the studio. I'll say this once again very nicely, okay, without joking around about it. What we are doing behind the scenes, as much as it does not look like it, okay, because we cannot engage you guys on the same issue every day. Okay, whatever it is that we are doing it for the good of the show. Okay, so if we don't speak about stuff, it does not mean that we are not actively working behind the scenes to better our show. I try my utmost best to better myself. Kaufi is challenging himself to better himself. You are doing your utmost best to better yourself every day, because that is what we are doing on the show. So, all we can say on this matter again, we shall and will always look for the best quality out there, and not merely just bring in a woman for the sake of there being a woman on the show. We do listen to what everybody says out there, but we cannot engage you guys every day about where's the woman, 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 where's the woman.
I do that in my home.
Oh,
I'm in the kitchen. Where's the woman?
Yeah.
Do they think we really like being all boys here?
No, come on.
We don't like to see each other every day.
We've been classified, yeah.
Yeah, we've been classified. That's all right. Ma, you see, and then that's what we say. You know what? We are actively busy to try and recruit the best quality person that we can out there. And
I think that comment from Estomich was pretty much the same as the Whoopi Goldberg comment.
Yeah, it's very much the same.
Yes.
Yeah, I would agree.
Whoopi Schmiestedt.
Yeah.
Estomich Goldberg.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about this a little bit now. Not trying to move away from the topic that we have, but there was a complaint about a lot of women not being in the IT field, and a lot of women not being employed in the field,
IT.
in IT. And a lady employer, CEO, a lady that worked hard and opened her own company, said, the first thing I look at are women's CVs. I want to hire more women, but I don't get them applying for the position. It's not that I don't get them applying for the position, and it's not that I want women to work for me. I would rather have a woman, I'll bring in a woman and have her trained to the level best, and try to have my employee
that ratio
leveled out, but they are not applying. They are not just as interested as men in the field itself. And they were pressuring this woman, but why don't you apply? Why don't you go out and go look for them? Okay. I'm like, okay.
I can tell you one thing. I have changed so much since the birth of my daughter. My daughter is 13 years old now. I come from a strong paternal or patriarch system where a man is in control of everything. And I believe that for a very long time, that a man is on top and a woman is net so bikkie kan onder hom, etc., 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 etc. And I had for a very long time certain biases about women. Okay, not that I disrespect women, but I've always, I was sort of very naive about what the complete rights of women are. But I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot since my daughter for the last 10, 13 years, because the way that I need to take care of my daughter, etc., etc. So I will not sit here and say,
So you're pretty much, in terms of women, following the same rules that the Arabs do, or the people in Iraq.
You were. Say you were.
no.
Or the
Oh, you
ISIS
thought
people.
so?
No, I wasn't. No. That's a little bit extreme. Nee. Maar ek moet say that many a times it was. I'm just not thinking about it. If I see a man being employed in a position that I know he does not deserve, and I know there's a woman that's in a better position to do that job, I didn't speak up
I see.
10, 15 years ago. Today I will speak up. There's no way that I'm going to allow a man to sit or in a position that I know he does not deserve if a woman can do the better job. That's where I am now.
Yeah.
And we need to constantly reinvent ourselves. It doesn't matter how old you get. And that is what I do. I'm glad that I have the opportunity to change a little bit of that about myself.
And just the thing out there, we should understand that people make their decisions in life, like look at nursing. A lot of is a female dominated field, nursing. Because women are naturally nurturers, or what we call, they nurture.
Yeah, they nurture.
Yeah. So every woman, even psychologists and what, it's a female dominated field.
What? Yeah,
Psychology, yeah.
No, but hang on, let's get back to nursing. We'll get to the psychology. It was Florence Nightingale that started nursing.
Yes. The
So
woman.
The woman started it to begin with.
And I'm just saying the interest is there, and seeing a male nurse, you call him a male nurse. And so it was always difficult for me to be like, so you're a male and you're a nurse.
you're a nurse.
When I was young, I always used to be like, nurse is a lady,
And then again, I must say on that note, I've never had a father. I was not raised by my father. I didn't really know my father until very late in my life. And my mother has always been my hero. My mother has always been the person that I look up to. And I remember, since childhood, I would see my mother waking up in the morning and put on a nursing gown and then she goes to the hospital and go nurse. And then she comes back tonight and I'll say, "Arkepiki af," and what. And I remember the first time at school, I was asked, "What do you want to do when you grow up?" And I said, "I want to become a nurse." That's what I said, because my mother has been my reference.
And your influence.
It's my influence.
Yeah.
That's what it was for me.
I mean, did you guys ever sometimes say, listen, I just don't understand women?
Yeah.
I mean, we men say that.
We do say that a lot.
I say that all the
And
time.
that is why psychologists should be women, because I don't understand it. So they should concentrate on understanding themselves.
I put a disclaimer here for myself. I don't agree.
It's comedy.
Met hierdie
It's just a joke.
Nee, is nie 'n joke.
Hold your horses, is
Hy
to
lieg.
me. Wow.
Hy lieg. There is honestly thinking this.
It's honestly
No, I'm not.
No, but honestly, and I'm not
think
going to
it's-
lie to you. I, after 20 years, still don't understand my wife. I don't understand my vrouw.
But do you want to understand that really?
I
Wouldn't it
love
become
her.
boring?
I love mine too.
I love
But
her.
I don't ask her for directions.
Oh my God, man.
If I drive the car, oh hell, if you want to get lost, just ask her for directions.
Yeah, I've worked or tried too hard to understand my vrouw. I tried too much to try and figure out, het jy gedink voordat jy dit gedoen het of dit gesê het,
Yeah.
of how you reason about this or reason about that. And you can clearly see she is stonewalling you, whatever it is that you are saying. Sy verstaan pokkel waarmee jy besig is op die oomblikie. Why are you trying so hard to make her understand your bullshit?
But Neville,
Because that is what she is considering it.
Neville, isn't the moment you understand wouldn't it become boring? I think the beauty lies in them being unpredictable and you know, that you always try to figure out what. And,
I've stopped.
And that's how you grow with your wife or your girlfriend, isn't it? You stop trying to understand it. You just go with the flow. I think there's a beauty that lies in it. And like I said, like I wanted to just make that point clear also. It's just that most jobs, like a plumber, most jobs like the guys that put on the aerial, the lines, the telephone lines. Oh no, the krachtlijnen. Those jobs, it's jobs that most people don't want to do because it's dangerous and all that. And it's a male-dominated field. And, you know, it's just we have our own life choices. And for people to just sit there and say, hey, why don't you hire more women?
Mutumba says, never just love her, because understanding her, you'll drown in a pool of confusion. Very, very true. I shall take the opportunity to read Clotilda's German Post. Okay? Guten Morgen.
Guten Morgen.
Kaufi, warum redet man in Deutschland von Antisemitismus und nicht Rassismus, wenn es die Juden geht?
Okay.
Okay, lees jy dit nou in Duits? Laat ek hoor hoe klink dit.
Guten Morgen, Kaufi. Warum redet man in Deutschland von Antisemitismus und nicht Rassismus, wenn es die Juden geht?
No,
You were quite there.
Okay.
80%.
Dankie.
Well done.
Dankie.
Okay, so
Wat sê sy?
She is why in Germany do they talk about anti-Semitism and not racism when they're talking about the Jews?
Yeah.
Okay, she's referring obviously to the Holocaust.
Yeah.
So I actually did a bit of reading up because you caught me a little bit off guard in terms of that question, and I then Googled it so that we can just get some, more insight into this. So Anna Frank, you guys know who Anna Frank is.
Yes,
yes. Okay, so she is saying racism is based on the idea that there are different human races: the white race, the black race, the yellow race, and the red race. People of the same races are assumed to share certain characteristics. Hitler and the National Socialists, in other words, the Nazis, also believed that people could be divided into races, and they believed that the races were in competition with each other. According to the Nazis, the Jews were a weak, dangerous, and inferior race that did not belong in Germany. The ideas of Hitler and the Nazis were racist. After the Second World War, science showed that the classification of humanity into different races is wrong. There is only one race, and it's called the human race. Now, other forms of anti-Semitism may not be racist, or less so. In the past, hatred against Jews was often fueled by the Christian churches. Throughout the history of Christian Europe and the Islamic world, there have been times when Jews were persecuted. People turned against them, not because they belonged to another race, but because they did not believe in the right God.
Yeah.
Conclusion? Can I just draw up the conclusion?
Sure.
Jews are not a race, and categorizing people according to race is wrong and dangerous. Even so, some people still believe in the concept. If it is the basis for the hatred of Jews, it is undoubtedly racist.
Hitler was a Christian.
Oh, that is another question. Oh, hell no.
Hell
no.
Hell no.
He
I
was.
Don't know. He might have, but it's definitely not the most outstanding one I've met.
Okay, I'm just saying he was. He was.
Stefanus James Ananias, Opa Neville, wat is die verskil tussen 'n Buster en 'n Colored? Is rooiwyn en
Kobosa.
en massa, is dit seker Kobosa?
Hy wil seker sê Kobosa.
Ja, seker Kobosa, ja.
Rooiwyn is Kobosa.
Ja, ek weet. Ja. Ja, kyk, Stefanus James Ananias, in my personal view, and it's not just my personal view, when it comes to pure DNA, okay, chromosomes, there's no difference between a colored and a Buster. They all hail from Nama ancestry,
And German.
maternal, and paternal, either German, either Afrikaner,
Portuguese.
either Dutch, either Portuguese, etc., etc. But the maternal is Nama.
Ja,
Okay?
donker Afrikaner.
Yeah.
Why
So-
do they get angry though?
Yeah.
What, the Nama?
No, coloureds and Busters. Because get it in your heads, if there are coloureds and Busters on the stream, your ancestry comes from Nama. Coloureds and bastards did not exist
Exactly.
600 years ago.
And that is where the word namaste comes from.
Namaste.
Namaste, my ass in Kitmansop.
So the southern part of Africa, the SADC region, when it comes to the Western Cape, Botswana, etc., Namibia, etc., these places were populated. This is where Nama people lived. Okay? So when your first European settlers arrived here, they started mixing with these people. Okay? And the children that were born out of this communion had to be called something. And they started to calling them coloureds or bastards. The bastards came from the Northern Cape. That's where those light-skinned people, and they decided to call themselves Baster and settle in a place called Rehoboth, okay, which is a biblical name for, there's a biblical explanation for the name Rehoboth. Rehoboth is a pastor name. It's a biblical name. There's a place called Rehoboth also in America. So it's a biblical name. So there's no difference. Mutumba says, nope, this won't happen because people hide racism and tribalism. Very true. Patriotism.
Yep.
Whoopi is getting old. This is what Estomich says. I like her in Sarafina. She might be getting dementia. Jewish lives matter. Okay. Well, Palestinian lives matters. Black lives matters.
Coffee matters.
Coffee matters. Everybody matters. Americans are so. I think I read that statement.
You read that.
Yes. Did you know before they settled in Israel after the Holocaust, they were offered land in Uganda? Wow. Idi Amin sal vir hulle gebliksem het. It was called the Uganda scheme. Check it up. Well, Mutumba, thank you very much for that. Forget about gender. Okay, yeah, whatever. Kaufi, explain the two. Rovera, explain the two different Germans. Besides the one hiding his true colors because he is in our territory. You are humbled by away match. This is home ground for us. What the hell are you saying? Jonathan Kingdom, is there a German-based political party? It's IPC. That is the German-based. The hele Duitsers is in the IPC. It's all right. It's fine. We all need to belong somewhere. There's nothing wrong with it. Mutumba, in the Zambezi region, it's hot there. Mafwe and Masubia don't see eye to eye. Wow. And they block each other's business-wise and political, which is unfortunate because the region suffers with zero development. There you have another example of what happens in a place that we are not very much familiar with. Thank you, Estomich. Thank you, Estomich. Vedika here. Speaking of a woman on the show, I really miss Maria. Hope she's doing well. She's doing very well. We spoke yesterday. She's doing well. She's well. All the best in finding the person best suited for the show. No pressure. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Vedi, we appreciate what you say, okay? Because we are trying our utmost best to better the show, better ourselves, and better every aspect of the show. Stefanus, James en Aeneas, daar het julle vir Kuba vervang met Stompie. Ons het nie vir Kuba met Stompie vervang nie. Stompie is Stompie en Kuba is Kuba. Okay? Maria will not be replaced by anyone. If a new person comes in, that person will be his or her own. It's not Maria. Okay? It will be very interesting to see here the aforementioned lady will be. The lady we need on the show much be smart on paper and also be street smart. Sy moet ken van groot winkels goede. Moenie worry nie, Raymond. Moenie worry nie. Mitch loves women. We nurse anytime. My future is my choice. I never see my father in my life. Ek dink as Jay wat vergat gevat word. Tribalism is the reason why many people who come from the Zambezi region rather build and develop businesses outside the region because they block you not based on expertise but on tribal lines. They would rather give a tender to someone from the region outside. This is shocking, Mutumba. I didn't know that you guys are also dealing with such nonsense.
Even in the south, it's the same.
Raymond says, oh Neville, wanneer laas was Jay by Karatura Hospitaal? Jay moet hy pragtige jong Buster lady dokters gaan check. Gevaarlik. My broer, ek dink ek het 'n pyn in my knie. Ek gaan vandag.
They need a penicillin injection.
Penicillin.
Nee,
Penicillin.
nee, Stefanus, Stefanus.
Sounds nice.
Wat was net 'n grappie? Ek weet nie wat, ek weet nie
He's referring to me.
the joke he made.
about what?
About the women, the psychologists.
Yeah, no,
Psychologist,
I
I
know
think
it's a
No,
grappie.
but
I know.
Stefanus is saying that so.
Jonathan Kingdom, kom ek lees net gou die laaste comments klaar ouens. Jonathan Kingdom says, "Yes, pastors anamas. Thank you, Jonathan Kingdom.
College.
En laat die colours uitkom en kom praat. Laat ons hoor. Neville J. ken mos pastors as hulle kwaad raak, die eerste woorde uit hulle se mond is Jomasa. That's what Raymond say. Cape Colours are trying to relearn Khoi.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say.
They are doing a lot at the moment in South Africa. The Khoi community, the Khoi, in reclaiming their history.
Yeah.
And it's very commendable to see what the colored community are doing. Jonathan Kingdom says, then he went away from there and made another waterhole about which there was no fighting. So he gave it the name Rehoboth. For he said, now the Lord has made room for us and we will have fruit in this land. There you go.
There we
Thank
go.
you very much.
Well done.
Thank you. The world's oldest analog computer was found by Jews archaeologists, which caused the big divide of hate amongst religious groups. The Antikythera mechanism was first found in ruins of a shipwreck in 1901 off the coast of the Greek islands. Met hy gevaarlike naam. A year later, it was identified as carrying gear by archaeologist Valerio Stais. The computer you know of today was a stir of evolution. Did Edmund really eat? Did Amin really eat men? It's bullshit. It's nonsense. Yes, Rehoboth is biblical. Okay. There you go, guys.
Do they know that Idi Amin actually made the British people bow? If they come, he made the British people bow in front of him.
Yeah, he was the last king of Scotland.
What was his name? He had a long name.
He loved
that you had to call.
Scottish kilts and stuff. Yeah. Ja, Dirk Kleinschmidt, my grootoupa Kleinschmidt het Rehoboth gebou.
Daar sê.
En as ons eerlik is, nê, I've seen a lot of white people with very close Khoi Nama gelaatstreke. And the older they get,
the more it shows.
the more it shows. I've seen white women with nice asses.
It's here.
Dan
And it's
jy
unfair,
sien
Nebo.
dat. Jo!
It's unfair because they already have the legs.
Ja.
Now they have the booty too.
The legs.
The
guys.
government
The
must
legs.
do something about this. We need affirmative
Yeah.
repossession.
And it's true what my
It's
broer
unfair.
My bede lyk so spoorlyne. Want as dit hoe die spoorlyne lyk, wil ek nie weet hoe lyk die stasie.
And it's true what you say. If there's one thing, and let's take biology now, and that's why I'm saying Khaleds and Busters got the both of best worlds.
Yeah.
Legs, beautiful legs, normally comes from your white ancestry. Hy het mooi kuite, mooi bene, wat. And obviously, not a lot of white people have, unfortunately, good asses. Okay, so they get the
And
asses.
flat screen TVs.
Yeah, they get the asses from Nama.
Ay.
Ne?
Neville, wit mense se kuite, dis hoekom hulle van IPC is. Hulle loop. Daai kuite is van loop. Maar Neville, seriously, it's just unfair. It's seriously unfair that
Dis
they
hoekom-
get to have the hair, the looks.
Dis hoekom ons sê is reg. Mingling with each other is important.
In the
met
racial
mekaar.
relationships.
Really? Sjoe, as lelik raak van iewers was, soos dit van Rebot kom. What are you talking about, Roviera? Are you telling me Rebot buses are ugly people? Jy praat nonsense.
Listen, Neville, you'll go find German guys still living there. Jy kan sien dis 'n dater. Hy praat Afrikaans even. Jy kan sien dis 'n dater. And a girl that I actually dated before. Her mom is a Dutch guy's. Her mom is a Dutch guy's daughter. So you can see this guy can speak Nama, but you can see from his hair and everything. This is actually a German dude that probably decided egg play. A scoufy like egg play, but my Nama from.
So, Neville, is it safe to say Vambus and Heroes are one? Yes. Yes, historically, as you know, Kambikiti, historically, when Heroes and Vambus, before they came to Namibia, when they were staying in the Great Lakes region of Tanganyika, history has it that Vambus and Heroes are the children of two sisters. So apparently we are interlinked, but we are the families of two sisters. So it's actually the children of two cousins, which hails from tribes that came from Tanganyika, Tanzania, the Great Lakes region, before they traveled to the south of the continent.
The Herero Germans. The girls.
Beautiful.
Oh, the legs.
Beautiful.
You see what I'm saying?
Beautiful.
The fancies and
Shiburona.
stuff.
Shiburona. Yeah.
Oh, they're beautiful. The light skin ones.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with.
En jy kry ook die groot fonteins, 'n damere German girl.
Daar sê.
Ooh, jare kid man.
Tsumeb. We had a fight here, I think about a year ago, of which town, and it's now, we talk black shit now, Kofi. I don't know if it's the same with white people. But we try to analyze which town in Namibia produces the most beautiful women.
Karlsberg.
And I must, Dakaza. I must say it was a close call between Dakaza and Tsumeb. A lot of people said Tsumeb, we had a lot of votes from Tsumeb.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of votes from Dakaza. But,
can we do a poll tomorrow about that? I will do the poll tomorrow. For real. We need to know.
Jurgen Keiser says, hey, Mitch, los Grootfontein se meisies uit. Yeah, Jonathan Kingdom says, yes, Herero and Wambo are cousins. No need to break your head on identifying a Herero from a crowd. Samuel Maherero's head is a strong genetics identity. This is what Franco Jose says. Franco Jose, hand is by. Huh? Hand is by. Okay, I can only die. That's the first time I hear hand is by.
Even somebody mentioning it in this.
Estomi says, nope, Omaire and dogs don't taste together. Huh? Here, such tribalist nonsense. Mitch, ek het 'n Lani bra wat sê bynaam Danlop is dan loop hy hier en dan loop hy daar. Vedika Yere says, I know a white lady that is built like your typical Nama auntie. I've known her for so many years, but I just can't wrap my head around her physique. Vivi, you have your answer. Stefanus, ek het paar keer gehoor van jou. I feel sick. Stefanus, gaan man. Okagrra. Mwatje rapo. Nee.
We can read, but we won't say. Nee man. Stefanus.
Niklas Garab says Tsumeb is top.
That's it.
Guys, talk about St. Boniface not even making top 10. We must ACC to investigate prior years. I agree.
I was saying that I was having a problem with it.
We will get to that now. Niklas, we will hold that thought. Roviera says Dakaza wen, maar daai girls drink ook groot biere en
Dakaza moet wen.
Ek wil net sê nee. Ro, There was this one weekend I was in Takaza. En toe die ouens gesê, nee, Takaza is die spot, Takaza is die spot. And I did not have a good experience with Takaza. Want hy tradkarre wat in gasborrels wat daar uitgekom het, was not
what you envisaged.
Nee. Groot ou Neville. Is het?
Oh ja, groot ou. Nee, Grootfontein is on nie.
Nee, groot ou
Obi.
Ooh.
You know, it's where all the Namas, Damaras, Coloureds, bastards of kom ons sê maar net Coloureds, hulle is almal daar. Hulle is almal daar. So the variety is there, my bro.
And I think what was mentioned a little bit earlier by Nicholas Garab and was now also confirmed now by Jonathan Kingdom. Hoor kom af van Vanessa Goeibeb. Marintaal.
Ja, maar nie op die level.
Ek stem bietjie saam, Vanessa. Ek stem bietjie saam. Jurgen Kesseps, julle praat baie. Gaan check Tsumkwe.
Dis hy.
Daar is klomp wit manne met Khoisan wives. I wonder what the secret is.
Tsapes.
Jurgen Kesseps, kom ek sê jou, what is the secret there?
Dis die Calabashi.
Neville moet altyd die story maak. Have you ever seen a Bushman girl put on Brazilians?
Sun. Not Bushman.
Sun girl.
It's a derogatory term.
For if I say Bushman, it's sorry. I didn't know.
It's the sun.
Yeah, okay, the sun.
Bushman was a word that was brought here by the ancestors of Kaufi.
I'm very sorry to the Bushmen people.
It's the sun people.
Have you ever seen a sun girl put on a Brazilian?
No, I've seen it many times.
Broer.
But it's ugly.
Broer.
Nee, ek hou nie daarvan.
Broer. It's from behind, Neville. I'm talking about from behind, and she must have a legging on. I know if you go look from the front, it will be a little bit disappointed, maar from behind.
What
Neville.
do you mean front disappointed? That's Khoi women are beautiful.
Word for you. Nee, kyk soos die legging. Jy ken mos as jy so 'n light skin cherrykie sien wat loop met die Shoprite plastikies en dan kom jy by die vrou maar jy's like, I'll still hit it.
Rovera sê, Marintal moet eers bietjie wag. Dis warm daar, die duiwel bly daar.
Ja, maar is waar.
Jurgen Keise, I don't know what you are talking about. Ek weet nie, jy is 'n kind van die duiwel, Jurgen Keise. I never said what you said. Het julle Chessa girls gesien?
Tsapes.
Tsapes.
Tsapes a girl.
Just my julle is oor die hele land. You guys can't seem to make up your minds where you're basically saying all Namibian women are beautiful.
They are, but we just want to like level. Like we want to
Hallo.
Daar kom die Duitser met die hele sak patat. Maar Koffie, yes. Just imagine mevrou is not watching the show now.
Right.
Can you just kyk, maak toe en tel. Maak toe
kante blank
tel. Ja. Sê net vir ons in julle community, waar dink julle is die beste stok tussen julle?
Hoe bedoel jy dat?
As julle as German guys daar sê, hoe check julle, hoe sê julle like, yo ma,
which town does have the most beautiful women? In the white community.
Yeah, the white community I think is few and far between. Daar's so min nog oor. Hè? Yes.
Die boere, die Afrikaners of die Duitsers. Hoe is dit?
Die Engelsman is ook nog daar.
Die Engelsman is nog daar.
Die Engelsman is ook daar.
Ja, die Souties.
Those bastard ladies are cute. Make me think they are Mexicans, but the guys will fight you like as a narcos drug war.
Ja,
Carlos.
Nee, is baie waar. Is baie waar. Neville, het jy al 'n son girl gehad? Jo, my broer, jy sal vrou los. Dis so nou my condoom het
Raymond. I've got the smell of burning rubber here. Just
Now, I really wanted to tell you this story, maar ek kan nie. Tsapes, nee. Tsapes. Yo.
Why?
I can't tell.
Giving preference to light-skinned women and always being seen as beautiful is tied back to racism. Beautiful is beautiful no matter what skin tone. And Cornelia Shipindo, you are very, very right. I guess we all differ when it comes to how we view beauty.
It comes to preference.
And color,
Beauty
colorism.
is not necessarily performance.
Yeah, it's not performance.
It's just beauty.
Yeah,
That's all.
yeah.
It doesn't even account to personality or
Yes,
anything.
I've seen some beautiful woman that got really cuck character.
Yeah. Oh, get
Yeah,
man.
hell no. Oh,
You can say that again.
there's as false as anything.
And understand where she's coming from there, and where I don't think black men feel like light-skinned women are more. Or what? I think you get that idea from probably white guys or so. But white guys when they come here,
You mean
they
from Germany now?
From Germany, well, they date the dark skinned ladies. You see, but us from the black community, our white girls, we don't. And the dark skinned, beautiful black ladies, maar ons vat net enige wit ding wat daar is. Solank dit wit is. Die kniekoppe kan 2 keer wees daar, maar ons vat hy wit ding. Ek het daar shurumbu.
I've seen this in I've seen this many a times in Namibian history, and it doesn't just hail from the Scandinavian link that Namibia had with Finland, but Scandinavian women has a fetish for black men.
Rastas.
So
If a Scandinavian woman sets foot in Namibia,
dan is die hel los.
that's the
But then
alles
why
los.
don't mooi Redos and Ojibambos go to Scandinavia?
Also sopat.
Neville, at warehouse, I was always disappointed. These girls don't like light-skinned guys.
They don't
If
like.
they don't like namas, they already know us. They want those. You should. Jy moet bietjie rake and jy moet. They coming around here smelling good. No, the white ladies, they like those Rasta guys. You must smell like Isane and chips.
I'm saying the chips, bosses.
They don't like us. I will be honest with you. You go get a white girl that comes from Canada or whatsoever, and you go see her with the dude. And
Nick,
I only said.
I was also very shocked many a times. How
like,
did this girl end up with this guy? But you know what? Yeah. Ashida, guys, very, very quickly, the class of 2021 shines. And when I saw this top achievers this morning in one of our dailies, I was shocked at it. We had a situation where examination papers were stolen late last year.
Yes.
And as a result, people had to rewrite their exams in January. And for the first time in my conscious lifetime, I don't understand waar is die Kawangos vandag in die top 2, top 3. I don't know what.
Oh.
I don't know what happened.
Are we talking about that school?
Yes, because you know what? When it comes to
yes, hang on.
to performance for the longest time,
Yes.
St. Boniface slapped everybody around.
Until
with
the first
matric-
lady even said, yeah, St. Boniface.
And then the papers got stolen. Then the exams were rewritten.
Yes.
And St. Boniface did not feature anywhere.
not even in the top 10.
So what's been going on at St. Boniface for the last 10 years?
So julle wat Kawangos is op
Vertel ons nou.
Ons wil hoor waar is julle, because let me just give you a quick rundown as to who the top performers are. In 10th place, Magdiel van der Merwe, Windhoek Gymnasium. 9th, Tuli Muameno, Gabriel Tapopi. Griffith Amukete, Windhoek High School in 8th plek. Ando Amunkete, St. Paul's in 7th place. In sixth place, Pavo Ngikevali, Onawa as senior secondary. Patrick Tenga, Elchin Nkurenkuru. Okay, Nkurenkuru, there you go. In fifth place. In die vierde plek, Melissa Nel, Edigate Academy. In third place, Ndatelela Njamba, Gabriel Tapopi. In second place, Chika Libuku, St. Paul's.
Aha, well done.
And in first place, Jada Isaacs, St. Paul's College. Congratulations to all of our top achievers in Namibia. More than 50% of the first advanced subsidiary level examination candidates of 2021 achieved grades between A and C, while only 7.7% of the pupils were ungraded. Some 39.8% of matriculants obtained D and E gradings. Congratulations, but the elephant in the room is definitely
St. Boniface.
St. Boniface. They got bonification. The cheating stopped. This is what Estomich is saying.
This is fascinating.
After the rewrite, St. Boniface for the first time didn't make it in the top 10. Yo!
This is what unbelievable.
Yeah, copy and paste was the culture in Kavango.
I think they used to put write the name of the examination paper in a bolletjie and bury it also. Maar ernstig, I also used to think that the teachers were giving out marks. That was just my thought. I was like, die juffrouens gee hierdie papiere uit of die menere and they just want to do better than the whole school. It's the first time in history that Moses Karua was not mentioned.
That's say,
Neville, why are you laughing?
And obviously they got prize money. Obviously St. Boniface got prize money and got paid.
Neville, stop laughing about that. Stop laughing. You see Neville?
Yeah, I know. Moses Karua. There's nothing wrong with Moses Karua. Yeah.
Neville,
dat die whitey julle nou meer moet regruk.
Why are you laughing, Neville?
Moses Karupti. Okay, Tirin Glovu finally came up with a very, very informative analogy. White chicks, you will need a big budget for therapy. Shrink.
Yep.
Colored women and Latinos, if you need passion and unhinged bliss. Black chicks, you gotta have deep pockets, plus have the emotional intelligence and wits to withstand the chess moves that always have a moving chessboard. Scandinavians, too obsessed with exotic babies. Parents can't afford the under the table payments during this COVID times.
Exactly.
As wat Rou Vera sê.
Oh my god, man.
Nee. Mitch Vares, Mutumba, you had a comment here. Jy hom nou uitgevee. Yeah. But nevertheless, wow. That is what you guys are saying. It is, yeah, but it's rather, so guys, in closing, so what is your take on exactly what has happened with the matric or the grade 12 results? Kaufi?
I just had a brief overview. Obviously, with the stealing of the exam marks, these exam papers that, just put a whole story on this whole thing. But I do believe that after after the rewrite, that the results did show a difference in what was the norm.
Yeah.
So I think this needs to be close. There needs to be a closer look on this. There needs to be a typical investigation on this. The Ministry of Education should, in hindsight, go back and have a real good look and have a good talk about why it is like this.
I remember when Ms. Steenkamp was here, she said there were several people arrested because of these few teachers and And so I want to know from which school these teachers are that were arrested.
Franco Jose, Namcol is flooded now with St. Boniface learners.
Neville, I actually considered the bald head being a sign of intelligence.
Bald head?
Yeah, fun. They asked the girls to always cut nose. The girls will cut bald head nose.
Who?
Let's go.
Who cuts a bald head?
St. Boniface Cherisa.
Is it?
Let's go.
Am I?
Ja, laat die woorde net mooi kan sak daar so. Nie van die haar. They all had bleskops. I think somebody in the comments can tell you they all had bleskops, and people thought it was because of the whole behavior, the obedience of the kids and what and extra classes. Mara, I want to know from which school these teachers were that were arrested because of this scandal.
There was last year we've discussed this in studio, and some people did say that it is funny how St. Boniface learners always have good marks, very high marks. Mm-hmm. The moment they enter university,
they start slipping.
Then they fall off the horse cart. They fall on the wayside. A lot of them don't finish their studies. Their grades are bad, and it's always been the assumption or the accusation is that they've been cushioned there where they are. They've been spoon-fed. They've been held in such a little bubble that they've never really taught how they were never really taught
how it really works.
How it really works, how
Yes.
to think for themselves, how to behave for themselves, because it was too rigid. But now you guys come here with another analogy here that you are questioning now. That what has happened with examination papers and such. Me, of course, I will never make such allegations.
Because the ruling party sits still and doesn't open their mouth.
Never. I want to know from you what percentage of the paper was changed, do you think? In that short time, what percentage of the paper was changed? Because, Mr. Yagam said these papers are printed where, and these papers, in that short time, what percentage of the paper was changed, though?
St. Boniface bald head didn't make the learners pass. The Kavango teachers just got question papers and feed their learners. This is what Franco Jose says. Okay? Mitch, bald heads get the sun directly so the brain heats up. How can they take things in? Most of the private schools are useless. It is just about the money. Those kids know nothing. This is what Roviera says. I think maybe what we need to do is we obviously need to, and I'll ask Sanet if she can just send us a voice clip as to what her thoughts are on it, so that we can probably just play this clip tomorrow morning, or somewhere that we can just just share it with the nation out there as to how she views exactly what the achievements or the results are as we see it now.
Just by closing, sorry, it is just a very important question, and I think a lot of us have seen that. Have you ever seen that dude that was taking everything over, or that girl in high school or primary school? All the awards are just going to her, and what? And after school, you just see that this person has another. They just go into alcohol or something, like they just get addicted to something, and you see them after like 3 or 5 years, and you're like, what? You that was so disciplined and that got all the. Have you ever? Do you know somebody like that?
Oh yes, I know a couple.
I've known a couple, and I've always. There are guys who lost it along, the wayside. That was, these guys were the pedestal students, and learners in my class, and if you look at them today, as it's something else. But in life, life has a way of throwing us around, and it's difficult to see how. It's not how you start a race, I guess. It's how you end the race. And yeah, we are laughing, but those results being rigged cost a lot. They should be punished for sure. This is what Estomich is saying. Musteenkamp selling exam papers came to an end. No more purchasing of GD6 bakkies for education directors. Franco Jose, hey, you're making a serious allegation here.
Allegedly.
If Musteenkamp sees your comment here that she's selling exam papers, Franco Jose, ek vra jou as a bra, you can get sued.
You can be Betty Davids, my
Yeah, you can get Betty Davids because this is on social media. What you are saying, that she is selling exam papers. Most of the private, okay, that's what Rose said. The guy that was taking all the awards at my school is still doing well. Focus, dude, and wish him even more wisdom.
Wow,
Guys, thank you
the show.
so much. We've come to the end of our show. Tomorrow, once again, as from 9 o'clock, I have an engagement with the boss tomorrow morning.
Aha.
So, Koffie, ek dink jy moet anker môre. And let me sit there. We also have a representative from the Namibian women's rugby team who will be coming in tomorrow. They've traveled recently to Lesotho to go and take part in the rugby sevens competition, and they're just going to come and share with us a little bit as to how the trip was and what they've experienced, etc., etc. But we will definitely be seeing you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining us once again. Have a blessed
fantastic day.
Cool.
Yeah, Swapo stole fish, they need to be sued. That is Franco Jose's last comment. Sharp, sharp.
Chop, chop.